How to heal childhood trauma. Trauma generates emotions, and if we don't process those emotions at the time of the trauma, they actually get stuck in our bodies and our minds. As we go into adulthood, because we have these emotions stuck in our bodies and our minds, it actually affects the decisions that we make as adults. So if you've ever found yourself in a situation making decisions that weren't good for you over and over again, and you just don't understand why, it may be because you have unhealed trauma. So today we're going to talk about a few things that may be helpful to you in order to heal the childhood trauma so that you can move on in your life and live a life of passion and purpose. The first step is we have to recognize that we've had childhood trauma. There are so many things that may have happened to us that we don't consider traumatic. And how you know is if you think about your childhood and you think about some of the things that have happened, if it generates a feeling of anxiety or sadness, or you start saying to yourself, unlikable things or things that diminish yourself, it's chances are that was a traumatic event that happened. It's not, trauma isn't something that happened to you, it's how you feel about the things that are happening. So different trauma or different things can happen to people and not seem traumatic, and it may seem traumatic to somebody else. So the first thing is recognizing that you have had childhood trauma or trauma in your childhood that isn't healed. You can't fix it if you don't see it, right? The second thing is regain or reclaim your control. A lot of times when we've had any trauma, but particularly childhood trauma, we don't feel strong. We don't feel like we can move forward. We don't feel proud of ourselves. We have a lot of negative thinking about ourselves. So really the second step is to really take control and know that you have strength. Looking back at some of the things that you've done in your childhood or adulthood that you're proud of, taking a look at, and what kind of strengths did you use when you accomplished those things. We all have strengths. Sometimes we just forget about them, or we've pushed them aside because of the pain of childhood trauma. So reclaim that control, that strength that you have, that inner strength that we all have in order for you to move forward. The next thing is seek support. So hire a coach, get a coach. Find a tribe that have been through the same thing, that you can talk with, that you can get advice from. It really makes a difference who you have in your collective souls around you. Don't hibernate. Don't, go in your place. And I mean, there are times of solitude. We all need solitude. But if you find yourself not wanting to go out in public or not be with friends and family for an extended period of time, it could only add to your problems. You really need to seek some help with someone that you trust, that you can, talk to, that you can get good advice from, that can see what's going on and see the patterns that have evolved through your childhood trauma. Always be sure to take care of yourself and your health. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And in order to heal from this trauma, you really need to care for yourself, love yourself. That includes exercising, eating healthy, drinking water. Be good to yourself. You are the only self you have, and you're the only one that's here to really take care of you, and taking care of your health is super important in order to move forward and heal from any childhood trauma that you may be experiencing. Learn to accept that you've had some childhood trauma. So that kind of goes along with the first thing we talked about in acknowledging it, but learning to accept it and be okay with it. It happens to just about everybody. We've all had trauma. Every person in this world has had trauma. So it's okay. The great part about it is now you can accept the fact that you know about it and you're going to do something about it, and then you can just let that go. Don't worry about it. Don't keep it on your mind. Don't spend a lot of time regurgitating what happened. Just seek some help and then just let it go and know that you're on the right steps for healing and being able to get control of your life and be able to make good decisions and live a life that you've always wanted, right? Start replacing some of the bad habits that you can see that you're doing with good ones. So if you know you're drinking too much or gambling or doing some other things, to replace those bad habits with some good ones. Start one at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with a lot of changes. Just start with one or two things and do that for a few weeks and change some of those bad habits into good habits. The counselor or the coach that you hire will also be able to help you see what's going on and be able to get you in the right direction. And be patient with yourself. Be loving and kind. This is a process. It takes time. The good part is that you know that you need to change. You know that there are some things that need to be worked on, and you're headed in the right direction. You're going to hire a coach. We here at GILD Coaching actually help with trauma and addiction. We have a 16-week program, so if you want to check that out, please let us know at gildcoaching.com, and we can certainly help you out. I've had some clients go through that program that was great success, and they loved it, so it might be right for you as well. But most of all, just be patient, be kind to yourself, give yourself some love and some grace. It's okay, and you are going to be okay. Just know that everything always works out for you, and have that belief and that trust that you're going to be heading towards the life that you've always wanted. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. You don't want to miss the upcoming episodes that we have. Some great things coming up. And if you know someone that could use this information, please pass this on to them, and don't forget to put a nice positive comment in the comment space below. We'd love to hear from you and get your ideas or learn, maybe this has helped you in a way that you hadn't expected. We'd love to hear about that as well.